everybody, and welcome to the Monkeys podcast. My name is Tekurah McCullough, and I'm here with Drew Davenport, and we are here.
Hello, everyone. It's
Hello, Drew
me.
Davenport.
It's Drew.
Yes,
Good to
he's
see you
back.
again.
Fan favorite,
Yes. Oh,
Drew
thank you.
Davenport is back. And we are here to talk about Robert Michael Nesmith, who sadly passed away recently.
Mhm.
On December 10th, 2021. And I just wanted to we just thought it would be a good idea to do an episode dedicated to Michael Nesmith and his best moments from the first season, because that's all we've done so far. Now, Michael Nesmith was an amazing human being, not a perfect person, had some faults, but
Mm.
as an artist, just without peer, just absolutely amazing. And so we're going to talk about mostly the first season, but of course, up at the top, I just want to talk about a little bit of some of the other stuff he did, because really talking about just Mike Nesmith of the first season is just talking about like 2 years. No,
Yeah.
not even 2 years, 1 year of an amazing artist's life. So just to be fair, let's just go through a little bit. Michael Nesmith, Robert Michael Nesmith, he was born on December 30th, 1942, a songwriter, a musician, an actor, a producer. I would say a visionary, but I'm not sure what that means, but I would say a visionary.
Renaissance man.
Absolutely. Known as a monkey, the first national band, inventor, some say inventor of country rock. Then he had the Pacific Arts Company, which is a multimedia and distribution production company. Then he created the show Pop Clips for Nickelodeon, which then led to MTV. So some people would say he is the inventor of MTV.
Oh.
Created the first music video program to win a Grammy for music videos, Elephant Parts, which led to the TV show Television Parts. Was a producer of Repo Man and Tapeheads. And I haven't even gotten to any of the songs that he wrote or performed. I mean, that's without really even talking about any of the songs or the books, like Infinite Tuesday, which was one of the last books that he wrote, kind of a memoir, which was absolutely fascinating and changed the way I look at the world, really.
Wow.
He referenced all his endeavors as like forming bands. Like, oh, here, this is the band that we formed to do this. And then we formed a band to do this. And then here was the band we formed that did this. And it was just amazing. Let's see, what else do I have in my notes here? Yeah, that's it. That's just like, those are the short notes. That's the short version. Drew, anything to add? I don't know.
I mean, he's got Video Ranch as well. That's
right.
the Pacific. And that name, Video Ranch name, comes up when you talk to, like, I listen to a lot of like in-depth cinema like podcasts, and that name comes up. He sued PBS.
Right.
Got his money back from them. I mean, he's a Renaissance man. Let me go on a tangent because I don't know how much we'll talk about it. Repo Man is one of my favorite movies. When I started doing a little research for this, I didn't realize he produced it and had a little cameo in it. Amazing. If you haven't seen Repo Man, it's very MTV.
I am very ashamed to say that I've never seen Repo Man.
You can see the thumbprint that made MTV on Repo Man. You can absolutely say that.
That's very interesting. I remember everybody talking about it. So I feel like I've seen it because I remember all of my friends constantly telling me about it and referencing it and talking about it. And then I realized, wait, I've never seen this movie. I know all about it. Never seen it.
Got to be a big Emilio Estevez fan.
Is that yes. It? When I was thinking about doing this show this morning, I was thinking about like tone, like what's the tone that we're going to set here? Because, we want to be respectful and reverent, but Mike was also very silly. He had a very strong silly streak. And I was just thinking, Mike. And then I found myself singing the song that Tom Servo wrote for Mike and Nelson on the MST3K Mystery Science 3000 episode where they're supposed to write theme songs for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And was it Tom or was it Crow that wrote it? I can't remember. It was this Mike, Mikey, Mike, 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 Mikey, Mike, 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 Mikey, Mike, 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 Mikey, Mike, 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 Mikey, Mike. That's kind of how I wanted to open this podcast, but I thought maybe that was inappropriate.
No, I loved it. I loved you put it in. It's fantastic. It's definitely Mike.
But Mike,
and it's
Mikey
funny
Mike.
You mentioned that. After the other show I was on with you, the Prince and the Pauper episode, I tried to you asked me a question like, what was your first when did you first learn about the monkeys? And I could not I was like, I heard it in references something. It's from Mystery Science Theater. They referenced the monkeys a lot.
Yeah, they did.
They called every blonde character Peter Tork.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's one where hey, that guy stole Mike's hat. I remember that. Somebody was in a forest somewhere. Ooh, I think it's one of the Mummy episodes. Anyway, somebody has an ugly. Oh, wait, that might be riff tracks. Anyway,
all the same. It's all the same.
But yeah, there's something was an ugly pattern. They said it looked like one of Peter Tork's shirts. And I was like, yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. They're brutal to Peter specifically.
Well, he had bad taste in shirts.
Well, hey, so did Davey. Let's not get twisted. Not Mike though. Good taste in hats and passion.
Right.
I have a note down, and I'm gonna say it now. When I was I don't know, I was in college. I hung out with a lot of people who would call themselves, into indie music, and they all dressed. They all dressed like Mike. It's the hat. It's the just the long black hair, a little bit sticking out.
Yeah,
that was them. I can count
swoop.
5 dudes that look just like Mike.
Style icon, Michael Nesmith. People don't talk about it, but it's true. And actually, I have a few notes dedicated to the styles of Michael Nesmith because absolutely a style icon. First of all, that swoop is without peer.
Oh, yeah.
It is a perfect swoop.
Let me just try to do
all right, we're trying to recreate a swoop. You have too much curl.
I do. I have so much curl.
Yeah. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, that was pretty good. You had it for a second.
There
you go.
I see that you're rocking the green hat.
Yeah, I thought I would put on a I don't really have a hat. It's more of a
scarf.
I don't know what you call it. Yeah, it's more of a scarf, like a knitted scarf thing, but
knitted green, perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, so wool hat, of course. We have the wool hat. I think I read somewhere somebody said they thought it was cute, and that's the only reason why he wore it. Is the producers thought it was cute.
I read the thing that they wanted to call him Wool Hat.
Right? How humiliating! Why would you? The man has a name.
I have a name, and one of the things we'll get to we watched is the screen tests.
Yes,
and he's a little snippy in that screen test. There's no way they were gonna get away with calling him Wool Hat.
No, you're not getting anything by that man. Nothing.
No.
Excellent taste in Western suits. So the designers, I think, of their costumes would kind of tailor some suits for them. I think they were used, I call them used suits, suits that belong to the Warner's lot or whatever they were filming. And he would get when they would make suits for them, they would be specifically tailored, and he would get kind of the Western, I don't know what you call it, cut the Western details for his suits.
Oh yeah, he'd have the little triangles that go over the shoulders. Yeah,
beautiful.
I'm sure he's worn a bolo tie or those loose Western ribbons. I think he wears that one of those in the where he's the folk singer.
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay.
No.
One of my favorites. Lace cuffs and a blue suit. God damn. When he has that blue suit and those lace cuffs on, holy moly, that is so hot. It is so good looking. I don't know if anybody could wear that today. You know what? Somebody can. I don't know who yet, but somebody could wear that today. But very few people.
Austin Powers try to wear it quite often.
Okay, but that's not the same effect. It's not.
That's
it's
true.
just that's
That's
ha
true.
ha. Look at Austin Powers. But when Mike Nesmith wears it, you're like, nah. All right, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Lace cuffs and a blue suit.
There you go.
And then later, in later years, he had a nudie suit made, and it's gorgeous. It is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so are we familiar with what a nudie suit is?
Now, yes and no. I've heard the name, and I know it is not a suit that looks like a nude body that you wear. I know that. I know it in my heart, but when you said it, I was thinking of Slim Goodbody.
Okay, so I need to like get this right. So he wow, Nuda Kolcharenko, I don't know this man. Known professionally as Nudie Cohn, was an American tailor who designed decorative rhinestone-covered suits, known popularly as nudie suits. Right. So it's a dude from the Ukraine. He died in Burbank in 1984. And so those Western. It was usually like country Western guys would have these elaborate rhinestone suits.
Roy Rogers.
Yeah. And Michael Nesmith had one made, and it's I think he had on the cover of some of his albums. It's so good. It's gorgeous. He wore it for the Monkees movie, the TV movie they did, which was it. Three and a third revolutions per monkey, I think is what it was called.
Yeah, I need to watch that. I need to watch Head too. I haven't seen Head.
Yeah, saving those. But yeah, he has that nudie suit on for when he sings. I think it's called "Naked Persimmon." I'm not sure when he does one of the songs in there. And when I was a kid, I hated those nudie suits. I thought they were horrible and tacky. And now I'm like, nah. Those are awesome. Those are the coolest things.
I pulled it up. It's gorgeous.
It's amazing.
Gorgeous.
It's so good.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Michael Nesmith's nudie suit.
I'm gonna describe it to people who haven't seen it.
Please do.
Think about if Evel Knievel was a country western singer.
Yes.
Wow. And it had a full American flag down the back of his jacket. There he is, folks.
It did. And what you can't see in some of the pictures is on the sleeves. There's like a peacock on the sleeves. There. So good.
Ooh, that's gorgeous.
It's so good. But yeah, that full American, let me find that picture. Yeah. Full American flag on the back. Stars on the hat.
Targets on the legs or something. Look like bullseyes almost.
I think those are the peacock. Oh, those are the peacock feather eyes.
Oh, those are probably the eyes of the peacock. Eyes on the or peacocks on the shoulders. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
beautiful.
Yeah.
Folks, do yourself a favor if you're listening. Go look up his nudie suit. You'll see other nudie suits, but his
is the best. His is the best.
He cuts a silhouette in that hat. Wow.
Yeah, and it just looks right on him. You're like, yeah.
Yeah, it really does.
It looks right. And then back to the Monkees. They wear those crazy costumes and then little fantasies and they're running around. But when they all have those matador outfits on, Mike looks the best in that matador. Mike looks right.
Yeah, I have that written here. Mike was born to be a matador.
Right.
Like that was the only thing he didn't do in his life was a professional matador. He might have done some amateur stuff.
Right. Oh that cut, that short jacket just was perfect. Okay, all right. So I did send Drew Davenport I made a little list of Mike's greatest hits, some videos. I realized I sent you the episode that we already watched, I think. Didn't I? Did I resend you? Oh, I didn't? Oh, okay. And then I did make a mistake. One of the videos, as I was watching them today, I was like, oh, why did I put this one in here? I don't think I meant to do that one. And I'm wondering if Drew can guess which one that is.
Do you want to get to that now?
Yeah, let's do that now. Which episode did I not mean to include?
Okay, I have two. Okay. I have two. Both of them are deeply problematic.
Well,
one is the Davy and the girls episode because it's very Davy heavy. Mike has a lot of good stuff, but
yes, no, I did mean to include that. Okay, and then I found an actual clip of the part. So I should have gone back and deleted the episode because I did find the clip. That was that the Too Many Girls episode?
It is called.
Yeah, because I just wanted the Billy Ray Hodstetter. I just wanted the Billy Ray Hodstetter part.
No, I watched the whole thing.
I dropped my microphone, everybody. Sorry.
Technical difficulties, everyone. This is a little behind the scenes.
All right.
Yeah, I'm back. No, that was the Billy Ray Hodstetter was amazing, and the episode was great. The stuff at the beginning with I know we're going out of order, but the stuff where the girls keep popping up made me want a Monkees zombie film so bad. Like trying to board up the windows and they keep taking boards off each other's windows and all the zaniness and the girl in the freezer. And whoa.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Fan fiction writers. Yes, let's do that.
I think they get Scooby-Doo up in there.
Oh, hold on. Somebody's texting me. Hold on. I'm recording. People. Just a moment. Drew, go on while I stop this.
Okay. Well, I don't know. We guess we don't have to go in order. I mean, we can start with Too Many Girls. Just first off, this isn't about Mike, but this is something I do not see in the episode.
Okay.
Or the ones I have watched is Peter jamming hard on the guitar at the beginning of Too Many Girls.
Oh, right. Wait, is that the one where they're like, hey, we're working on the new song? Is it that one? Is that what they're doing?
They're working on the song, and Davey's just completely stone-faced, looking at a girl who's on the thing. One. And Pete's next to him, just going hard into the mic, strumming the guitar. He plays the piano, I thought, and just and then I think they were like, Pete, go higher, because it's gonna make Davey look that much more dull because he's like not paying attention.
Right.
And he's just like just shaking his head.
What are they doing? Are they doing Stepping Stone? What song is it?
To be honest, I'm not sure. It doesn't go that far. It should be a Davey
song. It should be a Davey song.
Because Davey's just sitting there with his maracas, not Moroccan.
Because that's funnier if they do a Davey song, right?
That's true.
Okay, wait. I'm sorry. I have to take a look. I'm sorry. I have to take a look.
Oh, please. It's Too Many Girls.
Too Many Girls. Too Many Girls. Okay, wait. No, I don't need history. I just want my list. Where's my playlists? There we go. View full playlist. Thank you.
Yeah, there's some really good. I'll throw out a little bit if you haven't seen it at home, folks. Davey's obsessed with the ladies. Come on, it's Davey. They keep showing up in the house and interrupting practice. And there's these great scenes where the other three are like pulling them out of cupboards, and one's in the refrigerator, and they keep trying to pull them out and shove them out the front door. And Mike has this great scene where one breaks away, and he's like, no, you don't. No, you don't.
Right.
And he pulls it back. Mike, with those long Texas arms, grabs her and pulls her back.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and people beyond the binary, I was right. It is Stepping Stone.
Look at that.
They are singing Stepping
Stone. Look at that, folks.
Because Pete's going, not just Stepping Stone. He's like, yeah, he is going in.
He's giving it all in a way that in the few episodes I've seen in season 1, I don't see Peter giving it all.
No.
Stepping Stone, he was like, I've heard of this new style. It's called hardcore.
You're right. He is going for it. They didn't give Pete a lot to do. We can talk about that later. But so no, I did mean to include Too Many Girls specifically because of the Billy Roy Hodstetter, where they're on the talent show, because Davey has been roped in to perform on a talent show with Fern, and so the boys crash the talent show. It's a TV talent show. It's basically what's that old show called?
Like Bandstand, American Bandstand,
no, it was before that. It was Max. This is one of the many things my mom explaining to me. My mom spent a lot of my childhood explaining the 60s references to me. She's like, that's a parody of this show. I was like, oh, okay.
At least you have that. Somebody's go right over.
But yeah, so it was a show. Oh, no, I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, so they all go on and do a little bit, and but Mike goes on and he performs different drum. And this is before, I think, the Linda Ronstadt recorded it. I think another band had recorded it at this part. He had approached the producers of the Monkees with it, and they were like, no, thank you. What? Yeah, they rejected different drum. They said, no, thank you. No respect at all for Michael.
Listen, it's Mike. I know it's first season, but she already should have understood. He's not going to bring you crap.
Right. So instead, he does this Billy Roy Hodstetter. This stiff, nervous performance of different drum which is unmusical and arrhythmic.
Yeah.
With stutters and then like a guitar. I don't know if that's a riff. I don't know what you call that when you have like a little thing, but a little riff that he messes up and has to do really slow.
Yeah. And he invented a genre, like when he's in his incredibly fast, incredibly quiet, like stumble talks, like I know this Stepping Stone, different drum.
I can actually, I haven't. Please. I loved it so much.
Oh, please, Tekurah.
Wait, I don't know if I can do it now.
But you must.
Oh wait, I have to get the lyrics up because
hold on.
I gotta pull up the lyrics.
I'm gonna take a drink of this water, and if it's good enough, I'm gonna spit it all over my microphone.
Okay. All right. Let me see if I can get it here.
I already drank. Don't worry.
Wow. Yeah, I travel to be a different job. Oh, can't you tell by the way I run? Every time you make eyes at me, uncomfortable wink. Oh, you come on, say get me down. Can't see the forest for the tree. Boom, 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 boom. So don't get me wrong. Goodbye, I'm leaving. I blah blah longer. Both live without me. Thank you very much, Miss Mac.
Woo! Woo! Folks at home, it was like I was watching the episode.
But the facial expressions, you have to see just like the wide-eyed blinking and then the staring down and then like the looking into the camera and then staring down and oh boy. Oh yeah, that's it. Goodbye, I'm leaving. I said, both live out longer if you live without me. Thank you very much. All right, and it's the thing that my sister and I, well, I don't know, she didn't invent it. I'm sure she heard this somewhere else, but she just explained to me that like really the only people that can really, really fuck up a song are good musicians. Good musicians are the ones that can really sing bad because they know how to just tweak it just so.
Yeah. It's funny. I have another note here, but it is about Mickey. I was like, his thing is like this really bad stand-up comedy thing. Yeah. And I was like, Mickey invented anti-comedy up there.
Yes.
And I think Mike might have invented anti-music as well. And the same thing. They're both skilled. Mickey is a skilled comedian, and Mike is very much a skilled musician. So they can flip it and make it into a weapon. Clearly,
right? Yeah, it's so. Yeah, but that performance of Different Drum, and I never knew when I was a kid. I had no idea that was like a real song.
I wouldn't have known until you just told me. My Linda Ronstadt is not as good as a good Tom Waits fan I am.
I only knew the Canciones de mi Padre. That's it.
Sorry.
That was my era of Linda. Although Mike related, I remember when I was going to, was this middle school or high school? I knew this girl. Her name was Terry. And she would make fun of the fact that like her father was Mexican, but her mother wasn't. And so she was like, she's like, I don't speak Spanish, but all my relatives do. And it's kind of awkward and weird. Mm-hmm. And I remember, I think we learned like Guantanamera or something at school. And she was like, yeah, my cousins told me, do you know what that song means? Yeah, it means 1 ton tomato. That's what it means, 1 ton tomato. And so for years I was like, that's pretty funny. Your cousins are really funny. Dude, I'm pretty sure that's like a Michael Nesmith like television parts bit.
Okay.
I really think that's a Nesmith thing.
There you go.
Is 1 ton tomato, which Nesmith probably shouldn't have done, but that's a different conversation.
Not. Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, Jim.
So every time I hear Guantanamera, I think 1 ton tomato.
Well, all jokes go back to Mike.
it's
sorry. Yeah. All jokes.
Terry's cousins.
There you go. How could they?
Steal. All right. So it wasn't too many. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say another great thing from that. I know I took a lot of notes, but just Mike, when they have to throw the show if you haven't seen the episode, and to make Davey throw the show, Mike just goes, "Hey, mister, here's something for your throat," and just sprays a bottle of water. And, "Hey, mister, here's something for your throat." It's such a good line for Davey to be like, "Yes," and opens his mouth.
Yeah, nobody should fall for that. That should not work. Hey, mister.
Hey, mister, there's something for your throat.
What? Let me open my mouth wide and turn towards this mysterious comment.
The variety of tuxedos in this episode also. You got Mickey looking like Pee Wee Herman. We've talked about Mike's amazing
suit.
Tan suit.
With the ribbon.
Little Western cut. And then Peter is in a magician's tuxedo. So
that Peter's bit here always makes me laugh. It never, this is like, okay, the whole episode is kind of weird, but this talent show bit is really honestly one of my favorite bits, because when Peter accidentally murders that rabbit.
Yeah.
Or is it a bird? It's a bird.
It's a bird. You see the feathers fly out, folks. Content warning.
And the little squawk sound they put in. And the look on his face, he's so sad.
Peter's method. They did 7 takes.
Oh gosh. It shouldn't make me laugh. It's like a 1,000-year-old joke, and I've seen it 1,000 times, and I'm not even watching it, and I'm literally, this is like serious, true laughter, people. It makes me laugh every time.
His response is what makes it.
His little face.
Because he's not like, oh no, he's like, I wonder what happened.
He looks in, and then he's so concerned. Oh, why does that get me? Okay, all right, so you guessed that the show that I did not mean to put on the list was Too Many Girls. You are wrong, Drew Davenport.
Then
what was your
next
guess?
I have a second guess.
Okay.
And is it the episode with the slur in the title?
You mean Son of a Roma?
Roma? Yeah, Son of a Romani?
No, I meant to include that one as well.
Then I am confused.
Yeah, okay. Well, the one that I did not mean to include is Royal Flush.
Yeah, it seemed, I knew it was out of chronological order.
Yeah, that's the first episode.
Like, yeah, and I was like, not a ton of Mike, but the throne bits were pretty good.
Yes, the parts where they're making a throw, that is pretty cute.
Yeah, and then it also has the same guy from the Romani episode.
Yeah, I like that actor. I meant to include Prince and the Paupers.
That we have seen. That's the episode I was on.
Okay.
We can talk about that because that's engraved in my brain because of how that was that's the first Real Monkeys episode I sat down and watched.
So yeah, that was episode 21, and that's the one that I meant to include. So I got confused. See how I got confused? Royal Flush, Prince and the Paupers.
I put down under Royal Flush another episode about regicide.
Yeah, they really were sticking it to the monarchy.
Yeah, really.
Just really unfair. Okay, all right. So let's go to the ones that I meant. Let's try to go in chronological order, I guess. So the first one I had was Monkey versus Machine, episode 3. Can you summarize what this one's about, Drew?
Yeah, they need a job. They're low on money. They send Peter to go get a job. Believe it's Peter. They send Peter to go get a job at a toy factory. And he goes in for the interview, and the secretary's like, right this way, and goes into a room with an old supercomputer. And it does the interview to Peter, and it wants one word answers, and Peter's fumbling, and it's like, what's your name? Or it's like, what is your first name? He's like, huh? And Peter's like, huh, first name, last name, huh? And so it goes a little wiggity there. And so Mike decides to go. And this is a Mike heavy episode. And yes. God bless that. He conquers the robot. That's what I put down. Yes. Mike, I put Mike conquers the robots. And later on, he gets introduced to all the other little robots that make the toys. And he goes up to shake their hand. Yes. It's so good.
Because he's being introduced. That's what you do. If somebody's introducing you to computers and robots, you're like, nice to meet you. Yeah. Makes perfect sense.
Well, he's a gentleman. I don't know about in real life. On the show, he is very much a gentleman.
Yes, he is.
Unlike that deviant Davy Jones.
But wrapped up in this gentleman is the heart of a Bugs Bunny chaos trickster god that defeats that computer. Yes. And it's so good. And that's why I included it. That is one of my favorite Mike moments, is him rolling up on that computer with that chair. He gets in that chair and rolls right towards the camera saying, Nesmith, what's yours? After the computer asks him what his name is. And he just confuses that poor computer, makes it smoke, makes a few little risque jokes. Like, ooh, I bet you're a real tiger. I was like, whoa, Mike. Yeah. What are you saying to this computer?
There's a scene. Okay. When this is not Mike related as much as I'd like. There's a scene where Pete's trying to talk to the computer and tell him what he does for a living. And the computer misunderstands. Is like, oh no, he's like, it's Pete, dig. He's like, you dig, Pete? And the fact that at the end of the episode they didn't get a job digging Pete.
You're right.
I was sitting there. I was bending my hat over my knee. And I was like, these producers don't know how to call back.
Oh, you're right. Oh, that would have been gross. All smelly. Isn't peat kind of warm? I imagine it's warm because
I believe it's like bog stuff. So yeah, peat water, peat moss.
There's no peat in Los Angeles.
I don't think there is. The only peat in Los Angeles is in homemade whiskey stills.
Ew, really?
But you use peat sometimes. You get a peaty taste. I don't know if you use peat, but
that's right.
You go for a peaty taste in scotch and whiskey sometime.
Yeah.
Please do not at me. I don't know anything about alcohol, please.
Yeah, I'm not good on the whiskey and rye and all that stuff. It's all
the older it is, the better it is, and that's all I know.
Yeah.
And that's the hope.
It's all brown. Brown stuff.
But yeah. I mean,
also
go ahead.
Cute Texas accent. I mean, he just, I feel like maybe I just get used to it, or feel like he had more of an accent at the beginning of the season. I don't know what it is.
I mean, I think we've talked a little bit about it. When you see a screen test, it's there.
Yeah.
So I think he probably loses it throughout the series just from, I don't know, not being around his people. But at the beginning, so charming. It's very charming. He wears his knit hat, of course, with his corporate suit, his little gray and black suit, and he makes it work. Yeah,
it's very cute.
There's this is where the unicycle scene is as well. That's always in the credits. And I wanted to make a point that Davey's wearing a leather jacket and Mike's wearing a denim jacket, and it's Los Angeles and they're biking technically. I can't imagine they were comfortable. That must have been the sweatiest day in the world.
Yeah, I don't remember that leather jacket. Wow.
Yeah, Davey's in a leather, I think. And then definitely Mike is in this beautiful dark denim. And like I said before, so many people I knew in college and beyond dress like specifically Mike Nesmith.
Bunch of Nesmiths out there.
Yeah.
Wannabes.
That's right.
Another good thing I like about this episode is how sweet the monkeys are to their elders. They're always so nice.
They are.
That little old man who,
there's a window. There's a window of niceness I've seen. Because if they're very old, they are so sweet.
Yes.
Just a little bit younger than very old. They're the bad guys of the episode.
Oh, well, yes. Well, yes, of course. They're bad guys.
The adults are trying to ruin the monkey's time. Right. But the elderly, the sweet old folks. Yes. He invents some sort of weird, very strange boomerang that I thought was made out of gummy bears at first.
You can make it into a circle or a
twist.
Square.
Goes into a triangle.
Or a line. That's what he says. A triangle or a line. Ooh, you made a line, sir.
What kid doesn't want a ruler that's crazy looking? The robots must have been, the bar was set pretty low for those robots. Been like, we made a right angle in the line. Genius. What will the kids do?
Yeah, just dumb. But anyway, they're very sweet to that man, and it's cute. The next episode is, I've got a little song here, episode 12. Very Mike focused. It is another one of my favorite episodes. They're all my favorite episodes. I don't know why I keep saying, this is one of my favorite episodes. I say that like almost every episode. Mike
is so like, all right, just straight up like cute when he's doing the bashfulness of being a songwriter.
Yes.
It's just like, I don't know.
They're like, Mike's a songwriter. Well, yeah.
I don't know, baby.
And at this point of the episode, I paused it and went, wait a minute. At this point, and I was like, let me look up how many songs the real Mike Nesmith has written at this point. So, as far as I know, of course, Different Drum has already been written. I think he wrote that back in 64. Mary Mary, which I think they do at the end of the episode, he wrote. Yes. Papa Jean's Blues, one of my favorites. Sweet Young Thing, The Kind of Girl I Could Love, have all been written at this point. Well, maybe, I don't know about, and all of those have been on their first 2 albums. Yeah. And I haven't even gotten to their 3rd album where he writes even more. So it's like, that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 6 songs that they know he's written. And they're like, Mike's a songwriter.
I did feel like, is this like supposed to be taken out of chronological order? Did I miss the episode where it's like, this is how the monkeys met? And no,
it's a mystery. We don't know.
They don't. I mean,
yeah, because I'm like, who's writing the songs that they're doing?
I don't know. I mean, exactly who? It's Pete. It's got in the parlance of the show. It's got to be Pete. But it's so funny. I mean, that's got to be a meta joke even at the time.
Yeah,
where like Mike's the songwriter.
yeah. That's why they hired him.
Yeah,
because
he's pulling you all along the road by his teeth.
Right. So he goes to the publishing place and meets Bernie. I can't remember his name. And Bernie, ropes him into paying all this money or something. It's like $21 or something. And the glee. Mike gets to have a lot of expressions. He gets to do a lot. He gets to stretch as an actor in this episode because he gets to be bashful there at the beginning. He gets to be like excited and then a little bit sad. He doesn't have the money and then excited. He gets to be like just really adorable and excited. And he makes these phone calls in the little telephone booth. And that is one of my favorite moments. There's these little quick telephone calls that he makes when he's super excited about selling his song.
Yeah, I have a note that's not even a quick take. That is a long shot, the first telephone booth. And I'm like, hey, this is like a minute and a half straight shot. Yeah. This is not what you see on TV. I was like, hey, you're right. Pretty neat. And then when it comes to like you're talking about him being sad, there's a line that I love when they keep coming into his room and asking him, hey, do you want to go do something? Want to go do something? And he's just like, I want to sit around the house and fail.
Yes. Okay. That is a GIF that I use a lot. There is a GIF of him saying, I'm just going to sit around the house and fail. As
his little Texas accent.
Mood. Total mood. Like that is everything. Yeah, he's playing with his little watch on the bed, just all sad. Sit around the house and fail. And then his little smile at Peter when Peter like tries to cheer him up by saying, my mom says you have the best posture.
Yes. Oh, thanks, Pete.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Thank you. He's like genuinely like, okay, you're a dummy, and that was sweet. Thank you.
Yeah. The song they play at one point is "Buy Me a Dog."
Yes, I'm gonna.
They played this "Buy Me a Dog" song,
which is supposedly the song that Mike has written.
That song is out there, wild. It sounds like something Daniel Johnston would do. It does. I was like, oh yeah. That's the first thing my head went to. I'm like, this sounds a lot like a Daniel Johnston song.
So that song was me and my friend Trisha. That was our favorite song in middle school. We thought that was the funniest thing that we'd ever heard in our lives.
It's a very aggressive "Buy Me a Dog" song.
It's very stupid. And we like loved how stupid it was. I'm trying to figure like who wrote that song. I keep finding just the lyrics. Nobody needs to know the lyrics. I know all the lyrics.
Yeah, it's "Buy Me a Dog."
I'm gonna buy me a dog. No, she used to bring me my newspaper because she knew where it was at. She used to keep me so contented, but I can teach a dog to do that. I'm gonna buy me a dog. It's like, what?
I see. Okay.
But like, who wrote it? That's what I can't find. I can't find who wrote this song. Anyway, who cares? And I love the little jokes that Davey. First of all, why is Davey in the recording booth? Because he's not singing the song. Mickey is singing it. But Davey and Mickey are hanging out in the recording booth, just making dumb jokes.
They try so hard to make me believe, for the longest time, that that Davey sings most of the songs, and I know it's Mickey.
Yeah, Mickey does. Yeah,
Mickey has a. If I had a question about that, is that a dub or is that Mickey for real singing?
Where? What?
In like any of the songs? Is that him singing for real? Does he have a studio guy?
Singing what? On the show?
On the show.
Are you asking how they're singing live in the studio? Because that's not what happened.
No. On specifically one of the episodes, and he's singing, and is that his real voice or is he being? Yes. Mickey
is an amazing singer.
He's an amazing singer. Like
yes.
Yeah.
He is the most underrated pop singer, I think. I mean, I know I'm super biased.
Well,
but he is one of the most underrated pop singers. We have.
Because he's this viewing of this like block of episodes brought couple things to my mind about the Monkees that I never thought of before. First of all, Mike and Mickey are natural comedians. They are fantastic, and it's not just on a joke like they're funny, but they're musicians. They are dead funny people.
Right.
And not sorry about the words, geez. But and then Mickey can belt them out. Mickey's a great singer for how much of a weird kind of character goofball he is on the show. He's got a soulful, deep, wonderful voice.
Yes. And I saw him perform at the what is that place called? It's closed now. The Rose. There was like a Rose in Pasadena that I think closed in COVID, but I saw him do a show. Okay. He sounds great. He sounds great still. What I've said this before, as you listen to singers and you know how they record little outros, to songs and little ad libs and stuff. I swear to God that Mickey has never done a bad ad lib. I have on none of the songs that I've ever listened to, because some of my favorite singers will do some goofy ass shit in a song and they'll leave it in. And I'm like, whoop, oh, that was bad. Like, oh, no.
It's why I usually, don't enjoy a live recording. Because sometimes a musician is just a good musician and not exactly a stellar improv comic.
Right. And the singing, just the singing, oh, I'm going to do a little run here on the outro, or I'm going to add, not ad lib, but,
just
add a different note, do a
little skit scat out of nowhere.
Their Mickeys are all gold. They are all good.
There you go.
If you listen, you listen to things on the fade out and you strain your ear, oh, what's he doing on the fade out? It's all good. Yeah. Never is it bad or weird or awkward. Never. At Mickey, every take is golden.
Well, Mickey's probably one of those wonderful performers who understands that people usually pay money to come see him, and they don't want him to. Let's get a little experimental up here.
Yeah, no. Everything he does. Okay, so all right, let's talk. Yes, Mickey's great. All right, let's move on. This episode's about Mike, and we'll talk about the Mike and Mickey comedy show that happens in some of the other episodes.
Yes,
it's golden. Let's see. Oh, the next one is Dance Monkey Dance. Mm-hmm. Okay, a couple of things in this one. Oh, this is the one where this is the one that where Pete gets roped into joining a dance studio.
Life or something?
Yeah, like a life contract or something. They're trying to get him out of the contract.
There's a great line by Mike where Pete's like, "Did I do something wrong?" He's like, "I'm afraid you did there, old buddy." Such good. So natural, cute. Folksy delivery.
Yeah, Mike's dad. Mike is everybody's dad. It was very sweet. The fantasy scene where they're in a courtroom. I wrote courtyard in my notes. Where Mike is a mad judge. It's very like Alice in Wonderland, just weirdness. He's bonking Davy on the head with the giant gavel and eating his wig.
He is. He's hiding behind this his English barrister wig, and he starts putting it in his mouth.
It's so strange.
It is very surreal. It's very surreal.
It is surreal, and it just makes me just the way he keeps and there's a bonk noise and the little wee as Davy collapses out of the shot. It's very strange. But that's great. It's great. It's great. Yeah. Great. And of course, one of the rare moments where Mike gets to be romantic.
Yes.
Mike very rarely ever gets to be romantic, and I think it's because he was married. He was one of the married monkeys, and so that's inappropriate. You can't be kissing on people on TV. I don't know.
The woman at the dance studio that they get romantic with, that should have been a reoccurring character.
I love her.
She was so good.
I love Miss Buntwell.
Yes.
I love Miss Buntwell. That is, I think, on the episode when we talked about the episode where we talked about this episode. Ooh, that's awkward.
How about that?
The podcast where we talked about this. The podcast episode where we talked about this TV episode.
There you go.
I talked about this is one of my favorite character types. The Miss Adelaide type, the Lena Lamont.
Okay.
The I get to talk in this funny voice, and I'm from New York, but I also have this high voice, but I'm also very sexy. I love that character.
The only one I could think of modern day that does it is probably Harlequin from
yes,
DC. That's the last holdout of that specific.
It's Harlequin. It's the nanny.
Oh well, the nanny is very much that.
I love this. I love her so much.
This deep New York. sex pot.
And she's chewing gum and smoking a cigarette, which is disgusting. I think about it, that's so gross.
Oh God, it's tobacco.
And she's wearing this gold lame outfit. Oh, it's fantastic. Anyway, so Mike goes there to get not Davey, Mickey and Peter at this point out of their contract.
Yes.
And just ends up making out with her on the couch.
Yep. He's a smooth operator.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4, sit and kiss. And then once he signs the contract, she kind of is like, "No, we're done kissing." And he's like, "I don't think so." Mwah, mwah, mwah. Kisses her some more. She's like, "All right." Because who would say no? Who would say no?
Who would? Look at that hat. Who would say no?
And then later there's like the strangely offensive dance montage.
Oh my goodness.
where the monkeys are all in different national costumes, imitating different dances. There's some stock footage that you preferred that you hadn't seen of people dancing. But Mike gets to be real cute because they're like in these Polynesian outfits. They've got like aloha shirts on and grass skirts. And they're like kind of trying to make him dance. And he's very upset and reluctant to do it. And is kind of making a pouty face. And I enjoy that part of that.
The one, I mean, it's not great. The one that I enjoyed was there's a scene where they're dressed, like, I'll just say Kung Fu style, like with their flowing shirts. And that would be a great monkey Kung Fu movie would be awesome as well.
Yes.
Just because the style of that like 60s Kung Fu is so popular then, and just watching the Monkeys episodes, like the actual film's grade, reminds me of old Kung Fu movies.
Yes, totally. Yes.
But other than that, there's some stuff. There's some stuff there
that we didn't need to see.
No.
And then another kind of sad part is when he's trying to distract Miss Buntwell, as the boys are. They've got this. Oh, it's so complicated. They've got all the people who are signing up for the dance studio, and they're going to try to dissuade them from signing by putting on these little acts of like abuse by the dance studio employees. But they're going to keep Miss Buntwell in her office. And so Mickey says, "Oh, Mike has something to tell you." No, Davey says, "Oh, Mike has something to tell you." And so then it's Mike like professing his love for Miss Buntwell, but also chasing her around the office, which is so sad.
Yeah.
Mike.
I wrote down some problematic woman chasing, but I guess it was good enough for Disneyland, Pirates of the Caribbean, because it's that level.
It is. It's totally chasing her around the table, just chasing her.
If we had to re-edit the episode to make it a little bit more friendly, she'd be like holding a guitar. It's like, "Hey, that's mine," and they'd voice over it. Like they did at the Disneyland.
Is that what they did?
For the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. Now they used to have the men chase the women animatronics. Now the woman is holding food, and you can hear the pirate go, "I'm hungry. Wait, yeah."
Oh, I missed that. I don't. Oh. Maybe I haven't been. At least
maybe they probably took it all out and replaced it with, Johnny Depp or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
There's a lot of Depp there. Yeah. But what's weird is they don't even have to have that because they have so many cute little vaudeville bits of, I can't remember, but some of the cute little vaudeville jokes that they do and like take to camera, and then cut back to the
they go to the
studio.
We get to see the writer's room, which
oh my God, that weird cutaway is so
very
wrong.
Weird slave driving cutaway of the writer's room with Mickey walks through the entire shoot, like just walks towards the camera and past it.
That's kind of cool, but then when they go into the writer's room, they're like, "Oh no, it's just another racist joke."
Just a little racist joke,
but
some reference to something I don't understand. And then it probably wasn't good then. But can we? I know this is a Mike episode, and we're just gonna have to talk about the smoothies,
the dancing smoothies,
and
they put their arms up, a little snap.
There it is,
a little ole pose,
like. I mean, there had to have been a conversation about how do we get these smoothies a spinoff. Hey, it's the smoothies? Oh, come on.
I do love the dancing smoothies. They're so sincere. They don't suspect a thing.
No, they trust the monkeys, who wouldn't? And they're the smoothies.
Yes.
You got the monkeys, there's unique style. The smoothies, they're a unique style too. It could have worked.
They could have joined forces. Why did they have to defeat the smoothies?
There can only be one.
Together. No. There could only be one. I didn't know it was a Highlander kind of.
It was a Highlanders thing.
Highlander situation. let's see. Did we already talk about? Oh no, we didn't. Okay, we did mention Son of a Romani, but now we're in the Mike and Mickey comedy show.
Oh,
that is why I included this episode. Because Mike and Mickey are in the hallway trying to distract the guards so Davy can go in and steal the Maltese vulture to get Peter, because Peter's being held hostage. And so the the guards are like, we can't move from this post. And so Mike and Mickey decide they're going to do a robbery scene. So, they always have props with them, these boys. They have constant props.
Yeah,
so there's a gun. Mickey's holding a gun, and he's holding a wallet.
The way that Mike holds the wallet just up in the air. Hey, oh, help me. Oh, help me.
And the delivery, help, help. Terror, terror, burglar. Help, help. Wallet mine is now. Help, help.
That's what he says. Help, help. Terror, terror. It's so good.
And that scene is like one of those moments that just like imprinted itself on my sense of humor. Yeah. And like that, I'm like, this is funny. And I love it. And it makes me think of the I don't know if you know, with the Kids in the Hall, or the Kids in the Hall sketch with the burglar, Hot Shot Street Smarts wins again, is the quote that we always quote. There's like that low, I can't remember what it's called. It's like a low energy, like somebody's in the apartment watching TV and the burglar like calls in. It's like, oh no, I'm being robbed. Oh no, chasing. And they just kind of like walk around.
Yeah.
This reminds me of that, or that reminds me of this, or something.
Yeah, Mike's deadpan delivery.
Just,
so good. Help, help.
Help, help.
Help, help, terror.
Terror, burglar.
Burglar.
Genius.
It's some early, Jeff Goldblum owes his whole career to this scene.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Help, help. Terror, terror.
Is Jeff Goldblum the modern Mike Nesmith?
He wishes. Well, they both are musicians.
Both musical.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait, how do you spell Goldblum? I'm writing in my notes and I totally messed up his name. Anyway.
Goldblum.
Yeah. They're both tall.
Yeah, there's a definite connection there.
Hair. Charming.
Very charming. Good actors, good comedians.
Funny, musical. Can't sing though.
No.
I mean, probably can sing, but we don't really hear him sing that much.
I don't know. He played Ichabod Crane in a TV movie one time.
He did.
Yeah. Everyone forgets about it. I've never seen it, but I gotta find this. Yeah. Anywho, right. Also the other things they do, the fire. Oh, that's my favorite one. They're holding matches. Fire.
Just matches. Large matches by today's standards. Those are big, like campfire size matches. I don't know.
Fireplace matches. Almost. Just fire.
And then like the slight panic on Mickey's face when he can't blow his out in time.
Oh yeah.
He's like,
that's some real stuff right there.
That was real panic.
Yeah. He keeps looking at Mike.
Like, Mike, do you see this? Mike, help, Dad.
Yeah, right. Mike's just like, hey, I blew mine out, bud.
You're on your own, buddy.
You gotta do your own work around here, all right?
And in the boxing, there's a fight. Davey points out that there's a fight.
Oh yeah.
And again, Mike doing stiff-armed boxing poses while Mickey jumps around.
So good.
Boy, it's real dumb. But it's the Mike and Mickey show, which I think is what they called their tours. Their last couple of tours, actually, I think was called the Mike and Mickey show. And
that scene is where I wrote down like these two are the actual like comedians of the show. Nothing against Davey and Peter, but I mean Peter does a very unique style. Like he doesn't like get out of that style, and that's fine. Yeah. But like those guys, Mike and Mickey are great really comedians.
Yes. And in the second season they have more moments together that I'm so looking forward to getting to.
Yeah.
Oh God, microphone attack. Okay.
Vamp. And what else happens? Eventually they get the guards over by the fire because they drop the matches and the guards are like, hey, and they walk over and they're like, they pick up the matches without saying a word and throw them in the dumpster there or the trash can. It says, the little sign says, let's keep our city clean.
Yeah. There's no littering or something.
No littering. Keep our city clean.
And then it's like, hey, we're not supposed to leave our post. And then they go back to the door. Now, I have a question, and I kind of don't want this ever answered.
Sure.
No, it has to be. That actor doing the guard, he's delivering his lines poorly on purpose, right? That's a conscious choice. He's not that bad an actor.
Because it's gotta be conscious. It's gotta be.
Hey, we're not supposed to leave our post. Like every single time he says it the exact same way. No feeling, no intonation.
Unless he was an actual security guard on the set, there's like, oh, you two, come over here.
It's very fun. The more I see it, the more I watch it, the funnier his performance gets to me.
It's got to be. It's on purpose.
It's
almost like if he was really that bad at saying it, he'd be looking directly at the camera the entire time.
You're right.
I don't go in there. He wouldn't get the line right if it was that bad.
You're right. Yeah. But it's such an odd choice. Like, I wonder if it was his choice, was it director? Hey, it's fascinating to me.
Yeah, pretty funny.
Absolutely fascinating. I think I think that's it. And then we get to the screen test, I think.
Oh yeah.
Mike's screen test, which was put on the end of a previous episode. I don't remember which episode it was at the end of. But
I think it's at the end of, oh goodness. I think it's at the end of Royal Flush. No, that's where they do the where they're all backstage and they're like, what'd you think of the we ended the episode 1 minute short. Hey Mike, what'd you think of the episode? Well, I think it was 1 minute short. So good.
Such a smartass. That's the word.
Very smartass.
That's what he is. And
that's from the screen test. That's what he is.
The screen test is just Mike Nesmith, or Michael Blessing, which was his what do you call it? Not stage name. Pseudonym. Yeah, that he was
nom de plume.
Recording artist. That was the name he was using for his songwriting and singing. Just comes in, just almost kicks the door open. Yeah. Just the door flings open and he says something like, "Hi, Ed," or something. Like, I don't know who that is. I don't know who he's talking to. Probably reference.
He came in auditioning for the Terminator when he kicked that door open.
And he's got his hat on, and I think he was trying. I don't know if this is true or not. Like, he was trying to keep his hair out of his eyes. That's the reason he put the hat on. I don't know if that's true.
That's what it said on IMDb. It said he pulled it back so he'd keep his hair out of his eyes in case he had to read a script or something. Right.
And he's got this denim jacket on and these jeans that are tore up, man. Those jeans, when he turns around, there are holes in them. I think on the I was listening to the commentary track. I think Mike did a commentary track for this.
Okay.
And he was just like, "God, dude, eat a sandwich." Like, he's like, "I'm so skinny." What?
He is emaciated. And
so skinny.
There's some great stuff. They mentioned that they're on the set of another show.
Yeah, like the farmer's daughter or something.
The farmer's daughter. And there's a point in the interview where Mike gets up and goes to like the armoire and like opens a drawer and he's like, "You know, when I get home, I'm going to be like, you know what's in that drawer?" The farmer's daughter. Well, I do.
It's so good. He is a total smartass. He's not paying attention, but he's not following the rules. He's in charge of this interview.
Yeah. Like I've done auditions before, and that attitude, I don't know if that worked back then or it was just what they were looking for, but that attitude be like, hey, this is a job. Get the heck out of here. This is not your living room. Get the heck out. Don't touch the set. Get out of here. But no, the guy, Ed, who's doing it is like, "Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike, why don't you come sit back down? Answer this question for me."
Right. At one point, he opens a drawer, he opens a desk or something, and the guy says, "I think you're the first person to open that." And Mike's like, "No, I'm not. There's stuff in there." He's like, "Idiot.
No,
what are you saying?
There's stuff in there.
There's stuff in there." He's irreverent and charming. Doesn't really answer the questions. Like, they're asking him where he got his pseudonym, and he's like, "That's a stupid question. Ask me something else." Like, damn, dude.
It's like, I'm gonna tell you about the general's plane story. The time I tipped over the general's plane, I was in the Air Force, and it's like, okay, tell us the story. It's like, well, when I was in the Air Force, I tipped over the general's plane. That's the story.
Like, wow. Okay, do you want to go home? Right. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, he's so like, it's like if you guys at home aren't getting the idea, remember the show The Pickup Artist?
Ooh.
So it's the show where they taught like people how to pick up people back in the day on MTV. It's really bad because most of the things are like drop some negatives. Like that's basically what he was doing. He's like, yeah, I don't really have to be here. Want me to show? I guess whatever.
No, but he does say I need this gig though. He does admit he's like,
what do you want to do? He's like, well, I want this series.
Like, I hope I get this.
Yeah.
He also says in the commentary that he was terrified. He was super nervous. Super nervous.
The thing like where he's like, oh, I'm gonna look through these drawers and stuff like that does kind of like scream like you are like bouncing off the wall with nerves. Because you literally can't sit down. He can't sit down for more than
And then you can see like the philosopher kind of come out of him too in parts of it.
Oh gosh, yeah. There's some sad parts.
Yeah, where he's talking about like he says that's where it's at a lot. But there's like lots of like 60s slang and little 60s philosophies kind of in there. But like, yeah, he says he was a failure.
What do you mean, Mike? What do you mean you're a failure? It's like, well, you have to work at that. He's like, yeah, I didn't do anything, so I was a failure.
Yeah, he's like, are you a goof? I don't think I'm a goof, but if you think I'm a goof, then I'm a goof. I was like, what is happening?
You think I'm a goof, man, I'm a goof. Do you think I'm a goof? He's like, right? Yeah. No, I don't think you're a goof. It's like, okay, well, it matters what you think.
Yeah.
Turning it back on poor Ed. Jeez.
But yeah, and and I can just like, oh, there's like the philosopher Mike that we see in the future and that who writes the books and writes the lyrics and those
and invents
songs.
Entire swaths of pop culture and
right
media from behind the scenes in a way that's like, and it's like, oh yeah, he invented MTV. It's like, huh? And you'll say like, oh, the guy from the Monkees did that. It's like, well, he did a lot more than that now, didn't he?
Yeah.
But the Monkees is really good.
It is. And then my favorite part of the interview is when they ask him to be a strong silent type, and he like turns his head and looks at the camera, and they said, be a girl, and he turns his head and looks at the camera.
Yeah.
Love it.
And he's like, there's no difference there, Mike. Say, hey, that's your hang up, man.
That's your hang up. Yes.
So good.
Just so and that is that where we end it? I feel like
it's good.
That's a good place to end
there.
It. Of course, there's so much more that can be said. So much more that can be said about Mike Nesmith. I kind of want to be a little self-serving for a moment. I did quote unquote sort of meet him on one of his Facebook lives a few years ago. It was just typing stuff. And
interaction.
He was talking about, oh no, I can't remember the name. He was talking about this architect. Gosh darn it. What is that famous architect?
Frank Lloyd Wright?
Not that one. One that's still alive, I think. Architect. Oh gosh. Jake, cut this out when I'm looking up this architect's name.
Oh, we're cutting this out? Jean-Paul Gaultier.
That's a designer. Okay, wait.
Wow, I'm sure he's built a building.
Los Angeles. Who did the Disney?
Oh, since we're cutting this out, let me just talk to my phone. Famous architect, Disney.
Gary. It's Frank Gehry, right?
Oh, yeah. Frank Gehry. There you go. Canadian-American architect known for the Disney Concert Hall.
Okay. I am pretty sure. Let me just double check. Okay. All right. Yes. Okay. So, I guess Michael Nesmith was like friends with Frank Gehry or something.
I believe that 100%.
Right. Other people. Anyway, so he was talking about Frank Gehry, and I was like, oh, Frank Gehry spoke at my college graduation, which he did. At the time, I was like, who the fuck is this? I don't know who this guy is.
Yeah,
that's what kind of 21-year-old jerk I was. I'm like, I don't know who this dude is.
Who knows architects when you're young?
I was so angry. But anyway, so I was like, oh, he spoke at my graduation. I typed this randomly in the chat. And then and Mike's like, oh, who's it? Tekurah. Oh, what kind of name is that, Tekurah? And he's like asking me about my name, and I explained my name, and he's like, oh, that's really cool. Your mom's cool. I'm like, yeah, my mom's cool. And then he starts talking about, oh yeah, he's friends. You know who else he's friends with? Friggin' Douglas Adams.
Okay.
And so he starts talking about Douglas Adams, and then
Renaissance man.
Last Chance to See, which is one of my favorite Douglas Adams books, which is not, Hitchhiker's book. It's the book when he went around visiting countries and endangered animals and stuff like that.
Wow.
And then I just typed that in the chat. And again, I'm just like trying to chat with other people. I'm not necessarily trying to get, hey, Mike, look at me. But I'm like, Last Chance to See was a great book. And again, Mike's like, oh yeah. But it starts telling stories about him and Douglas Adams, and totally, by the way, off topic. He's supposed to be talking about something else completely.
Sure.
But I have veered him off topic twice in a row.
Like, look at you getting some of that attention there.
This is the best.
Well deserved. Deserved as well.
I know, and that's not the classic. And let's turn this death into you're talking about me. But I mean, that was the closest I ever got to meeting any monkey, frankly.
There you go.
Was just chatting with him on Facebook. He was very online. He was online, with the Video Ranch stuff. He would talk to his fans a lot, video chat with them.
He was like, from my little bit of research, he was kind of on the cutting edge when it comes to forms of media. I mean, we've talked about it, but he really was. Yeah. Like, there's some projects he did where like stand as the only type of that media that exists. Like, he did some stuff with like VR and he had a video game company at one point. Like, yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's hard.
Not just the liquid paper guy. People,
I know, right? Liquid paper. Well, think about that. That's how his family made money.
But yeah, if you think about that, is it so? I mean, like, if your mom is a secretary, and then she's like, you know what?
I'm tired. I'm tired of redoing this.
And that, just invents this thing that basically changes the world. Is it any surprise that her son turned out to be this amazing person? Things are moving behind you.
Yeah, I hit it with my back. It's fine. It's okay. It's haunted.
It scared me for a second. I was like, no.
We're good. It's just somebody holding a gun to my back.
Oh no.
No. But then I didn't look up into this, but the fact that this is related to Mike makes so much sense. His mother put half of the life, the fortune into the Council of Ideas. Yeah, it's a think tank that I don't know how much Mike was involved in, but it's like a think tank that comes up with more inventions, I imagine. I don't know much about it, but it's
I don't know either.
A little mystery piece that I would love to know more about.
Wow.
It sounds very crazy.
Yes, it does. And Mike was I think he was a Christian Scientist, I think.
Was he?
Yeah. Which is also fascinating.
Yeah, that's an interesting religion.
Another odd, not wrinkle. What do you want? Facet.
Yeah, multifaceted. The man was quite the diamond.
Yes, just amazing. We will never see another like Michael Nesmith. And we didn't even talk about his songs. Again, no. Still haven't talked about songs. His sweet falsetto. Yeah. Oh my gosh, his falsetto is amazing. And country rock and the harmonies and love songs and beautifulness. No words.
He had a real gentleness to him for being so a part of everything.
Yes.
That you don't see a lot with people who have that kind of ambition. Right. Usually you got to be kind of a jerk, but it doesn't seem like he was.
No. He seemed really gentle and sweet. So thanks, Nez.
Yeah.
That's all I got. All right. That's it. Thank you, everybody. And, I'm going to go visit that star on a Hollywood Boulevard or wherever it is. I don't know what I'll leave. Seems like a flower, so it's inappropriate. I'll knit a little hat. Put a little wool hat down there.
There you go. Put a giant sunflower, I think.
A giant sunflower, yeah.
I think that's comedic. Takes over the whole star.
Yes. That's it. All right. Thanks, everybody. Seems weird to say all this, but you've been listening to the Monkeys podcast. Subscribe. Leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. Find us on all social media at Monkeys Podcast. Where can they find you, Drew Davenport?
You can find me on Twitter. Follow me at @the_Davenporter, and I will talk about the wildest things.
Support the show by getting official podcast merch at dragonwagonshop.com. And that'll do it. Bye, everybody. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey everyone, Jake Lloyd here. I just wanted to take a quick moment to tell you about my debut feature film, Pinch. Pinch is the story of two strangers brought together by the chance to own a rare and valuable sports collectible, but to do so, they're tasked with stepping out of their comfort zones and onto a baseball field. It is a story about love, family, how we define success, and how sometimes it's hard to look beyond our own insecurities. Pinch is what happens when the Sandlot grows up. I made Pinch with no budget, no crew, just a ton of heart, and I'm thrilled to share it with you. You can rent or buy it digitally on Amazon or watch completely free on Prime Video. Visit pinchmovie.com and follow @pinchmovie on Instagram for more info on this charming little indie movie that means so much to me. Thank you so much for listening to Dragon Wagon Radio. I appreciate your time. Now let's hear that awesome little network stinger that comes at the end of every show. Hey, you know what? That voice of the little network stinger, that's Tony Wayne, star of Pinch, now on Amazon. See what I did there? Okay, bye. I love you. Thank you so much. Pinchmovie.com.
It's Dragon Wagon.